Today we're going to be talking about two of possibly the smallest webcams I've ever seen, and these things are awesome. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dan and/or xTwoShoes. I create streaming advice videos or content creation advice videos on this channel. And today we're bringing back something that I haven't done for ages on the channel and I've been dying to do again, which is reviewing cool products for streamers. Now, for total transparency, these cameras were sent to me and this is a sponsored review. However, I am allowed to give my complete and own personal opinion, and that won't change. So today we're going to be talking about the OBSBOT Meet 2 and the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite. You may or may not have heard of OBSBOT, but both of these products I think could be absolutely game changers for streamers, and specifically for certain types of streamers as well. If you look at Twitch 10 years ago versus now, it was way more rare that you'd see somebody with a crazy, DSLR or mirrorless camera setup, professional lighting, sound treated rooms. That just wasn't really as common. Whereas now anyone who wants to be a streamer kind of sometimes think that they have to go out and spend thousands on cameras and all that kind of stuff to have a professional look or have a really good quality look. Quality on your stream is important for sure, but it shouldn't come at the cost of, maxing out a credit card and going into crippling debt. And I think that's where these cameras come in. Now, look, they're not the cheapest webcam that you can buy. However, for what they do and what they deliver, you'll be blown away by the price, I think. So first up, we've got the Tiny 2 Lite. And as you can see, it is pretty small. Here's a comparison to a standard sized Funko Pop. So let's talk about what's included. So off the rip, obviously you get the camera itself, you get a really nice quality USB-C cable, you get a USB-C to USB-A adapter, and all your documentation that you're gonna need. It also has this quite spiffy little mount for the top of your monitor that lets it sit there, and it has this nice little overhang as well that's kind of rubbered with a grip on it. So, if you punch your monitor during COD, it's not gonna go anywhere. Right, so let's just get to what you all really want to see here, which is the video quality test. I'm now going to swap over from this camera, which is the Sony ZV-1, to the Tiny 2 Lite. So I'm now filming on the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite. I've done my best to match my video settings I had on my Sony to this, so it's the same shutter speed, it's the same ISO, and as close as I can get everything else. I have done no kind of contrasting or saturation or any sort of grading. This is just shutter speed and ISO, and that's it in this room. I'm using the exact same lighting setup, which is the Elgato Keylight Air, and then a softbox to my left. Now, there is one unique thing about this camera that you may have noticed, and that is that it's on a gimbal, which means that it tracks you anywhere you want to go in your room. You could even walk over here if you so want, or walk back to your screen, or walk back to wherever, and it will just reposition you and keep you in frame all the time. So let's talk software and camera control for the Tiny 2 Lite. So this is the OBSBOT Center. You've got a lot of control kind of straight off the bat, but your main things here is the AI human tracking, which obviously, is tracking me around the room and the scene. So one thing you can do is you can set zone tracking, which is like a safe zone that, it will only track, it won't follow you outside. Let's say, like me, you didn't want to show your homebrew beer bucket behind you. You can set it so that the camera won't pass a certain point, hence not showing anything in the room you don't want to see. I have it set to standard tracking, but you can also set it to motion tracking to focus on the upper body, or you can set it to track a certain part of your body here. You also have full manual control over the gimbal as well, so just by moving this up, I can move it up to the ceiling, and then by pulling this back down, I can show you my keyboard and my very out of shape torso. You get the point. So you can also set it to an AI mode in which you can track your hand or a group of things, let's say. Let's say I wanted to track my hand, set it to my right hand, and now it's in AI mode. It's gonna follow just my hand around the place. So this is handy for, if you're giving a presentation on the stream or something like that, and you wanted to gesture towards something, you'd be like, and as you see here or here. But so far, the mode that's made the most sense to me is normal tracking. So let's talk pricing and specs. So at the time recording, the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite is retailing for about $179. It's got a 1/2-inch CMOS sensor, and you're going to be shooting up to 4K 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second at 1080p. 4 times digital zoom. It also has HDR or high dynamic range, and it also has built-in dual omnidirectional microphones. One huge case I see for something like the Tiny 2 Lite for streamers is, you're like me, I move around a lot on my stream, be it either just in my chair or I'm very animated, getting up. Sometimes I'm writing on this board over here, and that kind of thing is perfect. So if I'm over here doing stuff, This is a perfect camera for that. I don't have to worry about being in frame, the chat missing stuff. It's just a very handy way to do it. One of the main use cases I can think of for a camera like this is for people who stream VR or who are VR streamers. Obviously, if you're moving around loads and you're in VR, you can't really see what your stream is looking like all the time unless you're whipping off your headset and checking. But if you're running around the room, you don't have to wonder if you're still in frame anymore. This thing will keep you in frame all the time. It is literally the first thing that came into my head when I looked at this camera. I was like, I need to do a VR stream again because my last one didn't go so well. It integrates seamlessly with OBS, and there's also Stream Deck integration as well, which is awesome. I've been using this camera now for a week straight. I've just started a new job. I've been taking all my calls on it. I've been filming all the videos for my new job on it because I'm a content creator there. And I've not once felt the need to, you know, plug back in my more expensive camera and shoot something on that. Just for comparison, the Sony ZV-1 that I shot the intro to this video on and that I used kind of for most of my content on this channel, at the time of recording cost 601 euros. I'll put the dollar amount on screen because I'm too lazy to do the conversion now. For the fraction of the cost, the quality that's being delivered right now, I think amazing, and it's at a very decent price point for what it's delivered. So now let's talk about the even tinier Meet 2. And here is the same Funko Pop for size comparison. Let's see what this guy can do. Dan from the future. And if you couldn't tell, I'm pretty sick right now. But not like sick, like.
Let's go, baby!
Like this sick. I'm actually incredibly ill. I lost all the footage for the second half of this video. So now I'm re-recording it while I'm very, very sick. So hello. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Meet 2. Apologies in advance for my very nasally and annoying voice. Feel free to mute the video and use the captions if you want. So right now this video is still being filmed on the Tiny 2 Lite. And in just a moment, we're going to jump straight over to this little guy. But one thing I loved about it is the stand, because it's magnetic. It just sits on its stand magnetically, and it's not going anywhere. So again, you can punch your monitor during COD. It's not going to fall. But it is so odd to kind of, you know, see something so small that packs such a massive punch. I love the fact that it has the 1/4 inch kind of standard tripod mount on it, or OBSBOT actually provide a mount themselves, their own stick. It extends it pretty high. It's got foldable legs that will sit on any desk and not take up too much space. And you can mount either the Meet 2 or the Tiny 2 Lite, which I'm filming on now, on this guy. And it's awesome. It also has scary good build quality. Like, I feel like this could... Don't try it. Leave a nice comment, like and subscribe. I'm sick. But in all seriousness, this is a great accessory that OBSBOT are making because, especially for the Tiny 2 Lite, as it tracks you, you may not want to keep it on top of a monitor. With this, you could put it behind your monitor, extend it up, or even like over here on my windowsill. I could use this to mount it and it doesn't take up too much space, and it's way easier to put on a desk than a whole tripod. So without further ado, let's swap over to the Meet 2 and see what it looks like. Just a quick disclaimer, I am filming these two shots a couple of weeks apart. As I said, I had some problems with footage, so the lighting is a little bit different looking probably, but I am still using the exact same light setup on both cameras, the Elgato Keylight Air and this softbox that I have to my left as well. Nothing has changed, but the lighting is a little bit different because it's a little bit darker in the day and I don't have blackout blinds. So anyway, okay, let's see what this thing looks like. So this is the OBSBOT Meet 2. And what you're probably thinking right now is, Dan, you literally did not change the camera. And just to prove it, here's our Tiny 2 Lite. Take out my phone here. And there's the picture I just took of the Meet 2 filming this exact video. One thing you're going to notice is for the size of this camera, it is insanely crisp. It's insanely sharp. The quality is outrageous. And the Meet 2 is coming in at a cost point of, at the time of filming, $129. But there's a lot more behind the scenes than just good image quality. Firstly, it looks really cool. It comes in 3 different colors, which are cloud white, space gray, and aurora green, which is what I went for because it looks cool. Green. It's aurora green. Don't know what it means, but it's cool. So in the Meet 2, you're still getting the 1/2 inch CMOS sensor with an f-stop of 1.8, which makes this thing work super well in low light. And as a test, I'm going to turn off both my streaming lights, both the Elgato Keylight Air and my softbox here, and let's see what this thing can do. Okay, here goes the Elgato. Boom. And here goes the softbox. That is pretty crazy. just want to let everyone know that the only light in this room right now is obviously the light coming off my monitor, this small LED blue light that's pointed away from me, and then this kind of crazy space thing behind me. Other than that, it is completely dark in here. It's dark outside and there's no light on in this room. That is crazy good low light for a camera of this size, and probably some of the best low light I've seen on a camera, because I'm not getting like, because there's not like a ton of noise. It just looks like I'm in a dark room, but I'm in a pitch dark room. Wild. Okay, let's turn the lights back on. Another really great feature of the Meet 2, and I feel like this could be really good for short form content creators, is it has AI auto framing, right? So right now I'm filming landscape, I'm filming a widescreen video. However, if I just put my little hand over here, pick this guy up, put it vertically, reposition it. Now, I know it's not sized correctly right now, but let me show you what this could look like. So this could work super well if you wanted to do a fully vertical scene, if you're making TikToks or YouTube shorts or Instagram reels or whatever. Or if you just want kind of like a longer webcam, this kind of looks cool as well. And it's not something you see a lot of on Twitch. But what's really cool is if I swap back to my full screen, just chatting screen, and I simply just go over and pick up the camera, turn it back on its side, it automatically reframes me back to landscape. Pretty cool. So out of the box with the Meet 2, you're getting pretty much a lot of the same stuff you're getting with the Tiny 2 Lite. Super long, very good quality USB-C to USB-C cable. I wish more companies did this. Make your USB-C cables long. I just bought a new camera the other day and this is the cable I got with it. What am I going to do with this? OBSBOT. Doing it right. Doing it right. I can't even fit it in the screen. I'm actually using the USB-C to USB-A adapter from the Tiny 2 Lite to run this camera into one of my USB 3.0 ports right now. So these work great if you don't have a USB-C port on your PC or laptop. And then also all the documentation you're going to need as well. Honestly, these cameras were effortless to set up. Plug and play, OBS picks them up straight away. There was no hassle, there was no messing around. They just work. And that's what I love about tech like this that's, you know, kind of aimed at streamers or trying to make streamers' lives easier, because we spend so much of our time messing around with stuff that we probably don't understand. These things just work. So the Tiny 2 Lite at the time of filming coming in at $179, and the Meet 2 again at the time of filming coming in at $129. If you're interested in checking out either of these cameras, they get the xTwoShoes seal of approval. Literally, not even lying, literally ever since I've been sent these cameras, I have not used my main streaming camera, which is Sony ZV-1, which I do love still, it's a great camera, but I literally have not used it in weeks. There's no need to. I know all the time you hear creators say like, oh, I used this way before they actually sponsored me, or I actually really believe in this product, and you know, sometimes it's disingenuous. I genuinely think this is a great camera. I genuinely think the OBSBOT people are doing some really, really cool stuff at a great price point for what they deliver. Obviously, everyone's situation is different, but if you're in the market for a new webcam, if you're looking for something compact, good quality, looks like an absolute professional camera, except it's a 10th of the size, check the link in the description. And thanks to OBSBOT again for sending out these cameras and let me test them out for them. Good job. 2 thumbs up. And if you enjoyed this video, as always, please do leave a like on it. Subscribe if you're new here. 2025, I'm going to really throw myself into content again. I've been super lazy with it, and excuses. So no more excuses. We're going to make a lot of cool shit in 2025. And if you're not already, make sure you follow me on Twitch. The link is in the description. I'm live a good few days a week, and we have fun over there. Always happy to answer streamer questions or content creator questions. And other than that, Happy New Year. See you later. Oh shit, this is the first video of 2025. Hi, New Year. See you next time. Bye. I'm so sick.